Carriage Crossing Senior Living is squashing the old nursing home food stigma by bringing restaurant quality experience to their residents. Here today sponsoring our segment from Carriage Crossing are Brad and Charlie. Welcome to CI Living.
Thanks for having us.
So, Chef Brad, I see you're already starting to cook some things. What are we going to be making today?
Today we're going to do a sweet potato hash with a maple glazed chicken breast. I really like to use the sweet potatoes. It's typically a fall vegetable, but it is available all year long. But just the health aspects of them for me, it's loaded in vitamin A, it's got a lot of potassium in it, and it's so versatile, and it cooks pretty quick. I myself didn't really care for sweet potatoes because I'd only had that sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows on it.
Right, only once a year at the holidays,
yeah,
right?
So we're using it in some different ways, and it really is good for our residents.
It smells delicious. And Charlie, can you tell me a little bit about Carriage Crossing?
Yeah, we are a boutique-style senior living, specializing in assisted living and memory care, offering really a home-like environment for our seniors, just with that kind of added layer of support. And I think that one of the ways in which we show that better than anything is through our kitchens, and bringing that home-like food with a full restaurant-style dining experience. So you're not stuck with only one option or something like that.
Now, speaking of one option, how does that work if residents have something that they would like to eat? Do you take requests? How is the menu curated?
We do a resident council once a month in all of our facilities, and part of that does involve dining, and they give feedback on things that they liked, things that they didn't like, and things that they would like to see. So each community has its own always available menu, which we can change up. And if somebody says, hey, I'd really like to see that, and it doesn't happen to be on the menu cycle, then we can always put it on the always available menu. And we don't like to combine our residents, and they get to know if we've got it, we're going to make it.
Okay.
So they're not confined to just what the special of the day or what's always available.
So ultimately, they have a lot of choice then.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's really nice. And what about if somebody has food allergies?
All of our DSDs and cooks are allergy trained. We don't run into a lot of allergies. We were talking earlier, out of the 500 some residents we've got, I can probably count on one hand how many allergies there are.
Sure. That's something in our generation, I
yeah.
guess. That makes sense. So that's nice. So this smells amazing. I know this is something that's actually on the menu. Is there something that I can do to help? Can I
our bacon's about rendered. So
okay.
Next going into there is going to be our red pepper and our onion. If you want to throw those
can
in.
I switch places and pretend to be the chef for
You
a
are
day?
the chef for the day.
Okay, so red peppers. I'm going to set my cards down here. Use this. All right. Should I stir it up?
Stir it up. Give it a shake.
Oh,
we want to see your
the
skills.
fancy. All right, I've done this once before on CA Living. Let's see how well it goes today. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
You had it. So we're just going to let those
I only
go.
lost one piece. There we go. That was perfect.
And as soon as our onions start to get that little translucent, same with the peppers, then we can go ahead and add our sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. All right, and this gives it, like you said, a lot of vitamins, but I feel like also a lot of flavor and color.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the sweet potato, and it is loaded with vitamins. The one thing that, those are peeled, the skins of a sweet potato are loaded in vitamin C.
Okay.
So we do lose a little of that by peeling them, but it makes up for it with what else it has.
Now, do you find that you have a lot of residents that have dietary restrictions as far as needing specific vitamins or heart-healthy food or things like that?
We have some that, like to do a heart-healthy diet. Being assisted living, it's a little more self-policing than it would be if it was in skilled nursing. So
sure.
A low-sodium diet is something under 2,000 milligrams. And if you're doing your food from scratch, staying away from processed foods and ready-made meals, then that's pretty easy to achieve. Like this entire meal, even with the bacon in there, which each strip of bacon is about 120 milligrams of sodium.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at about 500 milligrams total for the meal.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad.
All right, well, I will go back to my spot, let you guys keep cooking. And I have another question for you, Charlie, about activities. So
Yeah.
we talked a lot about food. What kind of activities can residents at Carriage Crossing expect to participate in?
We have loads of activities going on in our buildings all the time. We really try to keep our seniors active and busy. Starting off, usually most mornings we'll have some sort of exercise class, whether that's led by our activity directors or people from the community that volunteer and come in to teach classes. Then we have some sort of coffee and social hour usually. Great to get the seniors out interacting with each other. Like I said, that socialization is so important and really one of the things that makes living in a community like ours so special. Then the afternoons tend to be loaded with a bunch of different things. Some days it could be religious services. Some days we could have guest speakers. Some days it's live music and happy hour. Can never go wrong with some bingo, cooking classes, craft classes, all you can ask for. And part of that resident council that Brad was talking about earlier also addresses those activity needs. So just like they get a voice on what goes on the menu, they get a voice in what goes on that activity calendar every single month.
That's really nice because it is their home, so ultimately you can feel confident if you know somebody living at Carriage Crossing that they are very well taken care of and they actually have choice in their living situation.
Absolutely. We want to respect their choices and what they're interested in anytime that we possibly can. I always tell people that I lease office space in somebody else's home.
Well, there you go. And it's a beautiful place. I was there. We actually spoke in a previous segment on CI Living, but it is a very homey place. This is all beautiful. Thank you both for being here and for sponsoring our segment today.
Thank you.
And if you want more information about Carriage Crossing, you can visit us on the web at ciliving.tv after the show.